All right, so you guys picked the higher your average menu selection or whatever. So we're working on more on rational numbers. Okay, so you are writing this down. Don't just watch this video, you are writing it down. Now, when we do more on rational numbers, there's a couple of things that you need to know how to do. First thing that you need to know how to do is convert a decimal, nope, not a decimal, a fraction to a decimal. Okay, that's the first thing, fraction to decimal. So, if we have a fraction, let's say we have 2 thirds. The way we convert to a decimal is by dividing. Okay, we have to divide. If we don't divide, then I don't know what you're doing if you don't divide. Okay? So we go top in, bottom out, top in, bottom out. Now, watch this division, okay? 3 cannot go into 2, all right? Because if I come over here and do 3 times 1, it gives me 3. That's too big, all right? So it goes in 0 times. Now, I don't have any more numbers, so that means I have to add a 0. If you add a 0, you add a decimal. So 3 goes into 20. I don't know how many times 3 goes into 20, but I do know I can repeat addition. So we have 3 times 2, which is 6. 3 times 3, I have no idea what that is. Okay, so just add 3, y'all. 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 times 4. I don't know what that is, but just add 3. 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 times 5. I don't know what that is. 12, 13, 14, 15. Add 3. 3 times 6. I don't know. Add 3. 15, 16, 17, 18. And then 3 times 7. I don't know what that is. 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay? There is no excuse not to be able to multiply because you can add and use your fingers. Okay? That's why you have been blessed with hands. Okay? So, which one is closest without going over? Well, that's this one. So we're going to say, okay, what times 3 gives me closest to 20? Well, we said 3 times 6. So I'm going to put 6 here. 6 times 3 we said was 18. So now we subtract. So we borrow. The 0 cannot be subtracted from 8, so we have to change it. We need to borrow here, so that becomes a 1, and this becomes a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. All right, I don't have anything else. So my invisible 0, add another 0. Bring it down. 3 goes into 20. Oh, look, 6 times again. 6 times 3 is 18. It's going to keep repeating. Okay? It's going to keep repeating. Now, a couple of things I need to tell you with this more on rational numbers stuff. If the fraction repeats, or the decimal repeats, repeating decimal, okay, what you're going to use to show that is you're going to use a little line. So our answer was 0.6 repeating, so we put this little line on top to show repeating. Okay, if that line is not there, then it's not repeating, okay? So that's how you show that it's repeating on and on and on and on, okay? Now, if it asks you to round, let's say it rounds 2 decimal places, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, let's say that was my number, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're saying, okay, 2 decimal places. So that means I only want 1, 2. I only want this. But we take the third number, okay? You look at the third number. If the decimal is between 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it stays. If it's 5 to 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it goes up. Okay? Now, this is 7. So, is it going to stay or go up? Hopefully you said go up. So, what happens is, the one right next to it is the one that goes up. Okay? So, my answer is going to be 0.6. This say, hey, go up 1. 7. Does that make sense? All right. So let's do another practice. All right, convert this into a decimal. Okay, go. All right, so hopefully you paused the video and tried to figure this out by yourself. If you did not pause the video, then I need you to do so now and figure it out by yourself. But essentially, that's your answer. Now, if you didn't get this answer, I need you to come up and tell me right now, okay? All right, let's do another one. This one, I need you to round 3 decimal places, okay? So let me figure out a number real quick. 8/26. Go ahead and do it. All right, now I want to point out something, okay? So when you're dividing, you have 3. You should get 3 as your first number. 3 times 26 is 78. And then when you subtract, you're going to get 2, okay? Now we have to keep going because we need to round 3 decimal places. That means we need at least 4 numbers, okay? So when we bring down our 0, we get 20. So how many times does 26 go into 20? That goes 0 times. So before you bring down another one, you have to put a 0 there, all right? Every time you bring something down, a number has to go on top of that, okay? So 0 times 26 is just 0, so you get 20. Now bring down your next 0, okay? Now you can keep going. So we have 26 into 200. So keep going with your multiplication. Now, I do want to point out that at 4, I got 104. So it's going to have to be like 7, 8, or 9. Like it has to be double this. You know, if you double that, then that's going to make it 208, which is too much. And if I double this, that becomes 8. So I'm going to jump like to 26 times like, let's do 7. Again, if you don't know, add. Keep adding. Please keep adding, okay? If your paper looks like this, y'all, that's great. Because what happens is the more that you do it, the more it gets ingrained into your head. And then at some point, you're not going to have to do it anymore, okay? The more you do this and the more that you push yourself, the better it's going to be. And the more that you're going to remember. I promise you that that's how it works, okay? So I'm going to start here. So I'm going to pause the video. You finish it. All right, so hopefully you got this as your answer. Now, if it says round 3 decimal places, I have to keep going until I get 4 numbers. If it says round to 8 decimal places, you keep going until you get 9. You want 1 more, okay? Remember that. So this is my number. Now, I need to round. So 3 decimal places, I want this. I look at my 4th one. Well, is the 6 going to tell us to go up or down? Hopefully you said up. So that is affected. So my final answer is 0.308. That's my final answer. All right, so this test is all about converting and word problems. But the word problems are pretty easy. I think you can figure it out. But what I want you to do, since you have finished the video, I need you to go to Ms. LeBlanc and say, I'm done. And tell me what side dish you are picking for the next one. All right, so make sure you come up and tell me. That way I know that you watched the whole video and that you understood it. Okay? All right, get to work.